Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I'm, of course, your host, Armando Venditti. It's been a long day, guys, and this is take two of the video. So I'm joined by Peter Kent from the Lizard King channel, and we've been having glitches for the video feed, but we're going to try and get through this video as best as we can and as quick as we
There
can.
we go.
How are you doing, Peter?
I'm well. How are you, mate? How are you?
I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing good. Ladies and gentlemen, last week we did a video on the Led Zeppelin discography album ranking, and that got good numbers so far and good comments. And we decided to try and do this son of a bitch again. So what we're going to do is we are discussing a Pink Floyd album. And nope, before you say anything or think anything, it is not Dark Side of the Moon. We're not doing it. Ain't going to do it. What we're going to do is we're going to discuss Wish You Were Here from 1975. Okay. Some people think that this album is a step down from Dark Side of the Moon. Ladies and gentlemen, they were never going to top Dark Side of the Moon. I don't even think they tried. Okay.
No.
So we won't even get into that. So but with Peter's patience, I will just give you a bit of background on Dark Side of the Moon.
Yep.
It was released September 12th, 1975. At this point, they had left Harvest EMI after the release of Dark Side of the Moon. Pink Floyd were complaining that EMI Harvest in North America did not promote them enough, did not do enough for them. Well, Dark Side of the Moon was their biggest selling album to date. Okay. And then they jump ship and go to Columbia, Sony, CBS back in the day. They're still signed at Harvest EMI in England and in the UK and in Europe. But for the North American market, they jumped ship and went over to Columbia. Alan Parsons, who helped with the production of Dark Side of the Moon, has jumped ship at this point, and he's on his production side now. He's producing groups like Pilot, who had a big hit with Magic in 74. Go and check them out on Top of the Pops on YouTube. It's hilarious. Anyways, what we are going to attempt to do is discuss Dark Side of the Moon. And
wish you.
oh, sorry. My apologies. My apologies, guys. It's been a long day again. Wish You Were Here. Okay. And there we go. There we go. Perfect. There's the props. Peter also has a vinyl, but we don't have time to fish for it, so it's okay. So, Peter, your thoughts on Wish You Were Here, not Dark Side of the Moon. Wish You Were Here.
Wish You Were Here. It's my favorite album by them. Always has been. Yeah, we always has been. Closely followed by Dark Side and Animals, I think, and even The Wall after that. They're my four big ones. Yeah, it's got a beautiful flow to it. I mean, one of the main selling points for me is Shine On You Crazy Diamond, the front and the end parts 1 to 5 and parts 6 to 9. And then it's got great songs like Wish You Were Here, which was on FM radio forever. I mean, and Have a Cigar, I heard on FM radio out here in Australia. And virtually everything. Welcome to the Machine as well. I mean, it's just a beautiful flow to it. Dark Side's fantastic. Don't get me wrong; it's awesome. But I always had a thing for this album from when I first heard it in the early 80s. So yeah. So just that was those three albums for me, and The Wall as well. And that period from 73 to 79 is pretty unbeatable for them. Yeah. So yeah, great album. Yeah.
I would agree. I would agree.
Mm.
Do you think that this album, Wish You Were Here, again, not Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, is a step up, or are they just, I don't want to say, is it at the same level as Dark Side of the Moon for you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I know. Yeah, it's not much in it, but I I'd pick this over Dark Side of the Moon, but not by much, but just a little bit. But it's definitely on that same level for me. For me.
Mhm.
How about yourself?
Um, I would, I mean, how can I put
Yeah.
this diplomatically? Um, for me, I like Dark Side of the Moon. I do. I really do. I have the immersion set of Dark Side of the Moon
Yeah.
and of the
Oh wow.
Wall and of the Wall.
Wow.
Um, yeah, I have everything in my basement. I think Jimmy Hoffa's hiding there somewhere, um, but I think for me, Dark Side of the Moon suffers from oversaturation, like being played too much.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what I like about Wish You Were Here, first of all, at this point in time, Roger Waters has gone on record as saying that what their version of the common goal in terms of recording an album, like the commonality or the
Mm.
camaraderie, the band of brothers, is basically at this point eroding away.
Yeah. I've heard that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Most definitely. He said we were never gonna be that anymore,
yeah,
after around this time. He said we're
yeah,
never gonna be like what we were, yeah.
yeah. Um, and Roy Harper, who provides vocals
Mm.
for "Have a Cigar," because Roger Waters
Yeah.
did about 2 or 3 takes, didn't like it, and Roy Harper happened to be in the next studio recording, and he says, "Well, I'll give it a go." So they let him do it, and they kept the vocal. Roger Waters has gone on to say since that he has regretted doing that.
Oh, okay.
He's wanted, yeah, he thought that maybe if he could give it maybe a couple of more shots, maybe it would have worked. Like it would have gone, it
Mm.
would have been okay with him doing it. Um,
Okay.
and even Roy Harper said that when he was in the studio with them, at that point, he could tell that there were frictions going on between the band members.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes. Yeah.
what I like about the album is, first of all, the music is amazing. It's all sequenced.
Oh, yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
sequenced as like one after the other. I do like the keyboards in the sense that Richard Wright provides. They're very
Oh,
clean,
yeah.
very clean, very crisp, very sort of crystalline, like crystalline kind of
Yeah.
effect, you
Yeah.
know, uh, especially on Shine On You Crazy Diamond. But I also like the guitar because, as I was trying to say in the other video that we tried to do, you have the effect of, the not the effect, but you have the keyboards that come in, right? And you also have, as a counter statement, the guitar that comes in. That David Gilmour does. It almost sounds
Yes.
like a
Yeah.
blues guitar lick that he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Very distinctive, isn't it? Just
Yeah,
it's and it comes in after 8 minutes. So
yeah. When I first heard it, I thought that it was a complete instrumental, and then when
yeah.
the with the keyboards,
So mental. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then when the vocals come in, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
There's no vocals until that time. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, I just think that as a follow up, I think it was a good follow up. I think it was I think they needed to distance themselves from Dark Side of the Moon.
Yes.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, we are having technical glitches.
Most
So,
definitely.
forgive us for this, but we're doing the best we can.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So you remember what was your first memory of hearing Wish You Were Here?
I was probably in the 80s, and I probably had the vinyl. I think I had the CD, yeah. And I loved it from day one. I mean, I think, as like I said, the Shine On You Crazy Diamond is probably my favorite song by them out of everything. The front and the end of it. If you put them together, it's like 25 minutes. The front and the end.
Yeah.
The 13 minutes and 12 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, just that's the centerpiece of the album. I just love it. It's just got a very emotive, when the Roger Waters comes in with the vocals, a lot of emotion in it. When it's about, basically, there's a lot of Sid in the lyrics. There's a lot of references to Sid Barrett, and actually he was appeared in the studio, and while they were mixing it, I think on the finished up mixing, and they couldn't recognize him. He had a lot, and they brought Roger Waters to tears, actually.
Yeah, they all were in tears. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So it was a shock for her. But yeah, that piece, and as well as Welcome to the Machine, is the synths in that are great, aren't they? Richard Wright and Welcome to the Machine.
Yeah.
The synths.
Yeah. They're very
Song.
They're very strong, very melodic, but also very sort of eerie too. Like, I mean, the track Welcome to the Machine is basically
brilliant. Yeah.
It's brilliant, but the lyrical content, it's about, being sucked into the system.
Yeah.
Being controlled. Yeah. Being controlled by.
It's about the music business, basically. The tracks of the music business.
Yeah, that's
basically.
Yeah.
Parts are very creepy sounding, isn't it? Very eerie, creepy. It's got feel to it.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. I mean, the keyboards for me are more prominent on this album. Like, you got a lot, like a wall of keyboards, just like, of synths and just textures and just like unreal, just like you're being bathed in synthesizers. And again, they're almost like swirling keyboards and just, again, a wall of sound. But then when you listen to the lyrics, it's like, it's talking about how whatever, I guess the music business, we can use that. How the music business is taking over your life.
Yeah.
And you're being directed, okay, this is what we need from you. This is what we want from you. This is what you're going to give us. You have no choice, and it's like, okay, no. And then comes in Have a Cigar, right? With Roy Harper on vocals.
Oh, there's a lot of it in there too. Yeah. Which one's Pink? That where he says it's talking the business people in the industry coming in. It's like saying, which one's Pink, mate? They don't really know about the band or the music. It's sort of it's all it's all numbers to them, sort of.
It's like, we love you. You're great. You're fantastic. The record's amazing. By the way, which one of you did the? what is your name again? You know what I mean? Like, which one of you is Pink, right? So, I
Yeah.
mean, that is,
Yeah.
and it basically reflects what the band felt like they were going through at the time.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
it's quite daunting, you know,
Oh
to
yeah.
listen to it. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we're still having technical glitches, so you know, um, forgive us for this. We're going to fix this for next week, I promise. Actually for tomorrow, but we'll get into that in a sec.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I have a cigar. I mean, I didn't realize it was Roy Harper, and as I said before, he wanted to give it a shot because he was listening to them working on the track, and they ultimately kept the vocal, and it did piss off Roger Waters quite a bit that they thought that it was him doing it when it wasn't. So doing the vocal. So
Yeah.
and then it segues into Wish You Were Here, because it goes into
Yes. Yes.
it segues into like them listening to like a, like you hear like you're listening to a transistor radio, and
That's
then
right. Yes. Yep.
you
Comes in.
turn
Yeah.
the dial, and then the acoustic guitar come in. Um,
Yeah.
and it's just like, to me, that's a beautiful melody. Like
Yeah.
the chord,
Oh, wow, it's wonderful. It's one of the greatest.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
that song too, I believe, was dedicated to Sid Barrett.
Fantastic track and a great vocal. Yes. Yeah. He's all through the album basically. There's lots of
Yeah,
references to him
yeah,
through the album, and also like you said, the music industry they talk a lot about in the
yeah,
in the lyrics as well. Yeah.
yeah. And for those of you out there who don't know, Sid Barrett was the originating member, one of the originating members of Pink Floyd. He appeared
Mm.
on the first album, Piper at the Gates of
Yep.
Dawn.
Yep.
Experimented, start again. He experimented with LSD, and it basically, according to Roger Waters, fried his mind. And he had become very erratic in terms of his appearances with the band. And basically, they ousted him out of the band. He has one track on Saucer Full of Secrets, the second album,
Yep.
but that's where the contribution ends from Sid Barrett. The band were sure to make sure that he got his royalties from the Piper at the Gates of Dawn until he passed away. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
Wish You Were Here for me is a beautiful song. I mean, it's just,
Oh, it's lovely. Yeah.
what are
No
you,
question.
what are your thoughts on the song, on that track?
It's one of my favorites. I put it in my top 5. Beautiful melody. The vocals amazing. These songs full
Yeah,
of emotion. Um, just a beautiful track. Melody, everything about it. The vocals. Always been one of my favorite tracks. Always love that one. Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Definitely in the top 10 for me for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
most definitely.
yeah, and it's got to be said, this album, well, this one track off the album has been played in concert since its inception,
Oh yeah,
since
yeah.
they wrote it.
Mm.
And then we segue out to Shine On You Crazy Diamond part 6 through 9,
9, yes.
and again, I think it was a good way to end the album. I like the experimentation on it.
Yeah.
The fact that they weren't afraid to go into certain areas musically on it.
Mm.
A lot of keyboards again.
Oh yeah, it's saturated with them. Yeah, yeah.
Synth galore. I mean, David Gilmour has said in interviews the term progressive rock to him, because okay, he's talking about being referred to as a progressive rock player, but to him, rock music overall meant that there were no boundaries, there were no limits.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to do a side-long epic, you could. If you wanted to do a song that was 30 minutes, split it up,
You could, yeah.
15 minutes aside, you could. There were no,
Whatever you want to do, yeah.
yeah, there were no limits. Again, unfortunately, this is where the band was starting to splinter.
Yes, yeah. And Roger was having much more, virtually defeating them. I people say by the time they got to Animals, he was completely in control of the band, the direction and everything.
Yeah.
It had gone it's starting in Wish You Were Here, but once Animals happened, he was fully, in control, running the show basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of him wanting to control and Richard Wright not sticking up for himself. And he admitted that. Like he let Roger Waters run riot over him and degrade him, his musical ability, etc. And by Animals, Richard Wright doesn't contribute anything whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's
a shame. Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite disgusting, actually. And
yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question in a second about something, about this very kind of topic. Oh, I'll ask it now.
Yeah.
Roger Waters has re-recorded Dark Side of the Moon and has gone on, has done interviews saying that, let's get this right, or let's get this straight. The lyrical content for Dark Side was mine. The idea for Dark Side was mine. Yes, the others contributed musically, but basically Dark Side of the Moon is my album. What do you think of that?
It's a bit I get the part where he's the lyricist, he's got great vision. There's no doubt about that. He's got great vision and he's a lyricist, but he's downplaying their contribution a bit just to say, well, they contributed a bit to it,
Yeah.
I think it's a bit disrespectful, I would say, quite a bit actually. Yeah. I didn't like that, but him and Gilmore are still going at it to this day.
No, go ahead. My phone. I've been talking.
Not very respectful. Yeah, but Roger's got a very overbearing personality. It's sort of he's sort of he wants it done his way. Yeah, that's his personality.
Yeah,
must be done this way. And I've heard him say he says, Dark Side, that's me. I've heard him say, Wish You Were, that's me. Animals, that's me. The Wall, that's me. Things like that,
Yeah.
He's taken that road these days, So,
yeah, and it's gone to the I kind of think that him expecting David Gilmour and Nick Mason to say, bygones, let bygones be bygones. I think it's a little naive. I don't think that would have ever happened. Gilmour, I know Gilmour and Waters do not get along. They will never get along. It's the way it is. But in terms of Wish You Were Here, is there any way, do you think that they could have improved the album in any way?
Oh, let's see. It's a good one. It's a good question. I will say, but I love the last, the section of Shine On You Crazy Diamond, right? 6 to 9, right? I love that part. But the first part is better for me. The first, the parts 1 to 5 that's the only thing. I still love the last part. that goes great with it. But I will say that the first part I prefer to the second part. But that's
Yeah,
the
yeah, no,
think of really. But I
yeah,
love the second part. Yeah.
I would tend to agree. I personally, for me, I like the sequencing of the album, the way it flows.
Mm,
I think they try to continue the idea of taking a musical idea and following it through to its natural progression to the very end without
mm,
having gaps in between, stop gaps.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, they starting with Dark Side of the Moon, they did that with every album, and I think it's perfection myself. I don't think that there's. I mean, yes, Dark Side of the Moon Part 1 through 5 is the meat and potatoes, quote unquote, of that track. It is
Mm.
what people will go to
Oh yeah. Yeah.
most often than not, I would imagine. So yeah, I do tend to agree with you. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think for me, if Dark Side start again, if Wish You Were Here, it's been a long day, guys. If Wish You Were Here is not number one, it's tied. It's got to be tied with Dark Side.
For you, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, for
Those
me.
two hard to separate. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for me,
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
it's made such an impact on me. I think production wise, I think Richard Wright's keyboards and synthesizer work has come to the forefront
Mm.
because you're bathed wall to wall in synthesizer
Oh
textures
yeah.
and
Yeah.
sequencing.
He's very prominent in this album.
It, right up in the mix. I think
Yeah.
it's just beautiful, and I don't think that they could have ever topped it. Um, you know, let's hope that they do a 2023 or 2020.
Actually,
So,
it's Rich the band as
oh, it
well.
is.
He
It's
said
Richard Wright's favorite album.
by the band and David Gilmour as well.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know about the other two, but I've heard that. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. No, I did remember seeing a video, an interview that Gilmour did say that it was his favorite album.
Yeah.
But and you know what? If anyone from Pink Floyd Records is watching, hopefully you guys will release a 2024 reissue or remixed version of Wish You Were Here. Get Stephen Wilson to do it or whoever. I mean, you know what I mean?
What would you like to see? A big box set with just CDs or DVDs or?
And I'll ask you this question too. I would like to see a remixed version of the album.
Mm.
I would like to see or hear outtakes
Yeah.
from the album, remastered, cleaned up, polished. I would like to see a proper concert from this
Oh yeah, it'd be
era
great. Yeah.
on DVD or Blu-ray
Mm.
at a store near you. And I mean, and proper notes from it, like essays and like a detailed account of what went into the recording of the album.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, get Stephen Wilson to do the remix.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, he's been doing how many remixes for Just Hotel for
Jethro Tull. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like
He's
bloody
done a ton
hell,
of them.
like bloody
Yeah.
hell. So, and I mean, and ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you with box sets, but for me, the perfect box set format is the book format, where you have the
Yeah.
notes in the center with the pages and pictures,
Mm.
and you have the CDs on the left and the right side on bookending the set, like
Yes.
Jethro Tull does and Marillion. Those sets are fantastic. That format, amazing, amazing. What would you like to
Yeah, it
see?
looks like a ball you can put on the shelf. Right?
Yeah, yeah, and it's
Yeah,
very sorry, it's very
yeah,
easy
yeah.
to take off the shelf, to open up, to look at, to enjoy.
Mm.
What would you like to see done with with
Yeah,
this
similar
evening?
thing, but I'm not a similar thing. A friend bought me the animals one, the animals with the Blu-ray, the remix, the Blu-ray, the DVD, the CD. Got 3 discs, but it's got the record, a record as well in there.
Mhm.
I'm not a real big fan of the mixed format sets. I like it if you're going to do vinyl, you know, CD,
Oh,
do CD.
oh,
You know,
you
when they
mean
put a record, you know what I mean, with the CDs.
it
Yeah,
confuses, it
I can
confuses
live
me.
with it, but I prefer, yeah,
Yeah,
one or the other. You know,
yeah, you
I'm gonna do
prefer
it.
either.
But
You can,
yeah, something like that. A show would be great. A show is the first thing I thought of. A show from that period. Yeah, and yeah, anything live would be good. Any outtakes or whatever. And yeah, like the Jeffro Toll ones are beautiful. I haven't got them. I know you have, but the Jeffro Toll sets look fantastic.
those are
Yeah,
great. Those are great.
yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, September 1st, Jethro Tull, Broadsword and the Beast, Monster Edition coming out. And I got my copy.
Oh wow.
And
Yeah.
go to you can go to their website, Jethro Tull's website, and order your copy for the US or for the UK or for around the world, for Australia,
Mm,
wherever.
mm.
But yeah, I mean, those sets are great. Um, I know that there is an immersion set of Wish You Were Here, but I do believe that
Yes.
the concert material that's on there is it's fragmented. It's not a complete show.
Oh,
Which
okay.
to me pisses me off.
Yeah.
I would like to get the full show. So
Oh yeah. Most definitely.
yeah. So
Yeah.
any
Can I?
closing,
Yeah.
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I just want to talk about Have a Cigar, how the guitar in that he's playing is wonderful, Gilmore.
Yeah.
So it's a rock song, but and Roy Harper too, but the guitar playing in that is amazing. Um, love that song.
Mhm.
Always did, and Wish You Were, and of course, everything about the album. Can I just go for a few facts on the album?
Sure.
Go
Go
for it.
ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some notes here. It's like you said, September 12th, 1975. Went to number 1 in Australia, the US, and UK. Number 14 in Canada.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, virtually Roger Waters was starting to do his takeover of the band at this point. And yeah, just yeah, basically that's about it. I've said everything I've written. I've told you everything I've got on these notes, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one more point. 6 times platinum in the US.
Really?
So that's 6 million copies. Yeah.
Holy shit.
7 times platinum in Australia, which is 70,000 is platinum here.
Okay.
3 times platinum in Canada. I think yours is 100. Is it 100,000 in Canada?
100,000 units is a platinum selling you. Yeah. Album.
Yeah. So I did 300,000 there. So that's 3 times.
Yeah.
And UK 2 times platinum. So it was pretty much well received, yeah,
Yeah. I find
over
it,
the years.
yeah, I find it interesting. It did better abroad than it did in their home territory, slightly. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
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 I find that interesting. I apologize. I should have let you give your facts on the album and for the notes you taken. My apologies for that. Please forgive me for that.
Oh, no, it's all good because I have covered with your questions and with me, you asking me, I have covered it, basically 90% of it. So I just wanted to get the little bits I didn't say. Yeah. That's all.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All good.
I think we are at the end of this discussion, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank
Oh, Sorry, Armando, could I just
Sorry.
get your score out of 10 on the? Can I get your score out of 10 for this
Oh,
album?
my score out of 10.
I go 10 for me. 10 for me.
10. Okay, I go 9.5.
Oh, okay. Good score. Good score.
There's one for me. The Wall is a 10.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's. I did a previous episode with Bill Schuster a couple of months ago, titled "Is this album a masterpiece?" On the Wall, and to me it is. But
it is, yeah.
I have an affinity for that album. It's
a wonderful album, yeah.
Yeah, it is. But no, I give this album a 9.5 out of 10.
Awesome. That's a good score.
But who knows? I mean, listening to it more, I mean, I've got all the remastered versions, and in terms of being a remastered album, I mean, like doing a remastered version versus a remix album. To me, if you do a remix of the album, you have an opportunity to bring out elements or musical notes or instruments that you really couldn't hear in the original mix.
That's right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Brings them to the fore. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Steven Wilson does with his remixes. If you listen to, if you ever get a chance to listen to any of the Jethro Tull remixes that Steven Wilson has done, I was literally sitting in the living room one day, I was listening to Benefit, their third album.
Yeah.
And I had the stereo up and I'm listening to it, and I hear something on this side, like behind me over here. And I look, I thought somebody was in the house with me. I was alone in the house with the pipes.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
And I'm looking around and I hear something like a bell effect, and like, what the hell? Oh, shit.
That's
It was a stereo, but I mean, it was done in it was done in a surround sound format. So you're like basically like engrossed in this album musically. And that's what Steven Wilson does. That's the knack he has for bringing out the instruments out to the forefront and giving it a more rich sound. So, you know, on a tangent, I'm going to go for a second. Queen reissued The Miracle in a box set format. I think it was the cheapest. I love Queen. I'm a Queen fanatic. Here I am with the t-shirt. You know what I mean? I think it was the cheapest way that they went, because they used the 2011 Bob Ludwig remastered. I think that from 2011, I think that if they would have gotten Steven Wilson to do, or someone to do a 2022 version of the album, a 2023, I think that I would have bought the album. I would have bought the box set. And most of the stuff that's on that set is stuff that's been released through the years in different formats. So, like, why are you going to waste time? And
that's like that's over 10 years ago, that last remaster.
Yeah.
That's over 10 years ago, that one.
Yeah. And they were charging something like $250 for the set.
Yeah.
I refused.
Astronomical, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got pissed. As much of a Queen fan as I am, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to the fans. I wouldn't pay money for something that I already have. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So if they ever did another reissue of this, I Wish You Were Here, I really truly believe they could do a really good job of it, and have Steven Wilson do a proper remix of it if he wants to. You know, pay him whatever.
Be good.
Pay him whatever he wants. You'll get the results. Believe me, I'm telling you the truth.
So how did the Aqualung album. Did he do that? Was that good? That yeah, he did Aqualung, didn't he? For Jethro Tull.
Unfortunately, yeah, he did all of them. Unfortunately, I don't have the Aqualung one.
Yeah.
And the trick is this, Peter, when these box sets come out, you have to get them within 6 months of them coming out, because
Oh yeah, well, they're gone forever. Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
done. And once
Yeah.
the first run of pressings is done, you're done. You can't get them.
Yeah.
And if you want to get them on the like Amazon Marketplace or Discogs or other sites like that, eBay, you're looking at paying $350
Oh God, yeah. Yes.
versus paying
They go up in price. Yeah. Yeah.
versus paying
Yeah.
$63 or $67 in the initial run. So,
Yeah.
and there's
Yeah.
nothing they can do about it. So I have what do I have? Oh my God. I've got, starting from Minstrel in the Gallery up until A. I
Yeah.
have, and they're fantastic. They're fantastic. So yeah,
Oh well, I must grab one. I must grab one. Yeah.
go
Yeah.
on go on Amazon, or go on Discogs.
Yep.
A little side note: the cheapest ones to find right now are Stormwatch, Minstrel. War Child is going for $450.
Whew. God. Yeah.
And a Passion Play, ladies and gentlemen, is going for $350.
Gee.
So, excuse me. So,
Yep.
but yes, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this show. Technical glitches and all. I want to thank, excuse me again. I want to thank Peter Kent for joining me on this episode. I think
Pleasure, mate. Pleasure.
Anytime. And I think we've discussed Wish You Were Here up to Yin Yang. Okay.
Yes.
And we are going to we just started discussing this before we started taping. We are going to do a Queen album ranking version 2.0. This is going to be taped tomorrow, and it's going to be aired sometime this week. So please stay tuned. We're going to get the technical glitches worked out, and this is going to be an ass burner of a ranking. I'm telling you.
It'll be a beauty. It'll be a beauty.
God. This is going to be a barn burner. I swear to God.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, after watching this show, put your comments down there. Let me know what you think. Do you like Wish You Were Here? Do you not like Wish You Were Here? Do you agree with us that it could qualify as a masterpiece in some circles? Or do you think that nothing can top Dark Side of the Moon? Do you think Roger Waters was controlling of the band? Anyways, let us know what you think. And also check out Peter Kent's channel, the Lizard King channel.
Thank you.
He has fantastic videos. And do you have any videos coming up on your channel that you're going to be doing?
I am going to do, I've been requested to do from one of my subscribers. He wants me to review the White Album by the Beatles. So I'm going to, I haven't listened to it for a while. I'm going to go over it. I know it, but I'm going to go over it.
Actually, I have that. I have the Beatles collection, the box set that came out.
Yeah.
That whole set. So yeah, that's a good album.
Oh, wow. Did you get the White Album deluxe thing or?
No. It's in the black box with the.
Oh, that one. I got the CDs. Yeah, I got the CDs.
I've got those. Yeah, I've got those. No, I didn't get the box set of the White Album, but I got it as a reissue, a remastered reissue back in 2008. So so no, that should be a good show. I'm going to check that one out.
Yeah. I'll do that. How could I say? I wouldn't say I'm a hardcore Beatles fan, but I like them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That albums I like in particular. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So,
cool. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you've got that to look forward to as well. So please, again, after watching the show, put your comments down below. And again, we We're very sorry for the technical glitches that happened, but that's what happens with Zoom sometimes. So again, I want to thank Peter Kent for joining me,
Thank you.
and for you out there, click like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep yourselves on top of any new content that I've got coming up. This episode will air, I believe, Tuesday of this week.
Oh, yeah.
Of next week, sorry. So again, have a good night, everyone. Look after yourselves and one another. And for Peter Kent, I am Armando Venditti, and we are signing off, and we'll see you very soon. Bye for now.
Bye, mate.